Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Hazeeq, and today we're going to be taking a look at CRO. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Now, let's get straight into the TA. Jumping into the daily chart on TradingView, we have a Fibonacci retracement, obviously with a swing high here November 2021 and the swing low in January of 2022. And as you can see, we're below the 2.414 Fibonacci retracement level. We're just below that level right now, or actually hovering around that level. And we are below the blue support block that we had here. We created that block back in the summer period of 2021 with the pullback in May, in June, and July. We wicked into this area multiple times, hence the creation of this support block. However, we're below that right now. And if we continue with a little bit of a relief rally here and we run into the resistance of this support block, and we might, or previous support block, I should say, now it's a resistance block, we might get rejected from there and continue back down. So there are also a few signs pointing towards another BTC pullback, potentially quite a strong one. And if you want to get those, notifications, feel free to check out my Patreon, because I do drop in a lot of cool stuff in there. Your technical analysis requests, podcast episodes for patrons only, low cap gems, a whole bunch of stuff, my trade alerts as well. And right now we're it seems like Bitcoin is going to see another move to the downside. Obviously nothing is confirmed and we can't really know, but as you can see right now, we're printing a bear pennant here for for CRO. As you can see, we're going to have a target to the downside here. And if I bring out the price tag, there we go. That's going to be 0.047 cents. And basically a bear pennant is when you have a strong move to the downside, a capitulation of sorts, and then you start creating this little symmetrical triangle here. And usually you do see a break to the downside from there. And the target from this pattern is usually the pole from where this started. You could go all the way from here, right? But generally I do pick out where the last kind of leg down happened, which was from November 12th here. So that's where I took the pole and I placed it on the potential point of breakout here. So within the next couple of days, actually, I think within the next 2 days, we should get some sort of a move here, because we are very close to the apex of this pattern. And that usually means that we're going to be expecting some sort of a move. Now, as you can see, we are below this Fibonacci retracement level, and for now, we don't really need to use this retracement, but I'm not going to remove it because the levels are still valid. We still haven't retraced to the 1.618 levels as a resistance, so that's going to be something we should take a look at, and that's why I'm not going to be removing the Fibonacci retracement. Rather, what we could also do is bring out a smaller Fibonacci retracement, and let's see if the levels actually hold up here. We're going to take the swing high we created in August and the swing low we created in June. And as you can see, our 1.618 target here was obviously met at 0.0741 cents. We even retested that as resistance, and we made our way all the way back down below the second fib level. And these wicks here, what happened here was we started getting some FUD regarding the CRO exchange, and as you know, lots of FUD from the FTX collapse, and all the exchanges are now being eyeballed, because if they don't have enough money to basically support their exchange, if they have most of their crypto in their own token, then that's not good news for the exchange and for the people holding funds on it. And CRO is getting some FUD as well. I think they've stopped withdrawals. I'm not sure. I don't have any funds there. I don't use it for now, and I don't own any CRO tokens for that matter as well. So if you do have any money on any exchange really except for Binance, and also I do have some funds on KuCoin, but I'm honestly trying to move all of that away to a wallet, or if you can, move it to a cold storage. Obviously the Nano Ledger is one of the best things you can use for that. And yeah, this is not very good news for CRO. Hopefully we don't see the exact same thing we had with FTX. But yeah, you have to be ready for every single potential outcome here. And taking a look at what's happening in the chart, obviously we did have this channel up pattern, broke down from there into a broadening descending wedge pattern. And we're actually losing the support of the broadening wedge, which is kind of negative as well. So let's actually see if we can do something else here. Let's remove this Fibonacci retracement. And let's remove this one as well. And let me just get a channel here for you. And we'll see if we can actually make this work. There we go. So yeah, this is the channel that we have here. And this is the channel down pattern actually that we have. So as you can see, if I bring out the arrow to show you, we do have multiple touches off of this resistance of the channel down pattern. So you have one here in June, second one in August, third one in November, and the first touch of support was in June as well. And right now in November, we're seeing another touch of support here. So potentially what we could be doing here is we could see a relief rally and a move all the way up to the next high, or create another lower high, I should say, because obviously we're in a downtrend. You're creating lower highs, constant lower highs, and constant lower lows, which is the definition of a downtrend. But if this bear pennant plays out and we do lose the support of this channel down pattern, that could be quite negative as well. And you might actually start retesting that support level as resistance at this point. So I don't know if that's going to happen. So let's see how it plays out. Let me get the channel pattern back here, because yeah, this is something that I want to keep an eye on for future reference. Let's get that a bit lower. Just like that. Okay, perfect. So yeah, we're going to keep an eye on this, and we're going to keep the Fibonacci retracement going as well, because it is still valid, even though we can add as many levels as you want, obviously. Like if I pull out the settings for the Fib retracement here, as you can see, you do have quite a few levels. And for example, if I want to add, let's say the 2.618, right, that's exactly where we landed. And you can keep adding levels after that. You can add the third fib level, you can add the 3.272, and so on and so forth, but that would just be too many levels at that point, and I don't really want to do that. Actually, I don't really use the 2.272 and the 2.414 that much, but in case we start losing the second fib level, those levels are always there to support us. So that's why I have them over there. Actually, let me just make this a bit more transparent, because let's make it like that. There we go. That works. So yeah, that's regarding the Fibonacci retracement. You can also pause the video to get all the levels that I had and just open up the video where I had the settings up. Moving down to the daily RSI. So as you can see, the yellow support trend line held us, but not really. As you can see, we did have these two kind of wicks below the support trend line. Obviously, we went below the orange trend line as well. And like I always say, if you're down below in this area below the index of 30, you're going into the oversold. That's always a great signal to start dollar cost averaging, just like you had a nice signal over here in June, just like you had a nice signal over here in April and May. As you can see, every time you create an uptrend from there and you go and you make profit from that. So this is the area where you have where you essentially have almost no risk, because in several days you're going to have the price pumping up, and you can take profits if you want to do that, or you can just hold on to your tokens. And right now the RSI is very near the oversold region, so I would consider this a good entry point for CRO. If I was looking to enter, I would be entering, especially during this wick to the downside. I would be buying all of that. So right now we do have a bearish pattern playing out. We do have some signals for Bitcoin that may potentially could be a little looking glass for us, that we're seeing another pullback here, potentially going to see another pullback. Don't know what could be the reason behind that, but I would be careful buying all in right now. So I would dollar cost average at this area here. If we see a drop towards the downside, I'd buy even more. If we go lower, buy even more. But don't get married to a coin, right? You don't want to be buying a coin that's not going to do anything. For example, Luna and the FTX coin, those are two good examples of coins you shouldn't be buying right now. And obviously you can do whatever you want, not a financial advice, but buying projects that have absolutely zero potential down the line, I don't see a point in that. For a pump and dump, yeah, you could put $100 in it, but you should also be ready to lose that $100 in 5 minutes because the price can just dump, right? Because that's what it is. It's just a pump and dump coin. So we'll see what happens with CRO. Obviously, I don't want to see this exchange disappear because they've put in so much work into their marketing campaign. And that's also a kind of a red flag now that I think of it, because just like FTX was doing a whole bunch of crap with the money of the users, CRO was also pumping a lot of money into their marketing rather than their exchange. And I know people who had their tokens locked in their staking for no reason, and they couldn't just withdraw their money even before all of this fuss started. So yeah, hopefully there's nothing too shady about CRO, but let's be honest, there's always going to be a shady thing going on behind the scenes when you're talking about centralized exchanges. So yeah, let's just see what happens. Thank you all for watching. If I missed out anything important on the chart, please let me know down below in the comments section. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. Feel free to join my Patreon. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.